Hello there, this is Bic Benedict. We're playing Dead Space on the PC on Impossible difficulty, and this is my no damage, no hurt video guide and walkthrough for the aforementioned title. We're on chapter 12 of 12. It's entitled Dead Space, and it's not too bad of a chapter. The final boss, do not worry, I have a great strategy. Just make sure you have the contact beam fully upgraded. Its damage value, I think it has 185 points. So it's one of the strongest weapons that you can have in the game. So there's going to be 10 encounters in this chapter. That was the first one. Here's the next one with the divider. And I did think that the final boss would be a struggle, but like everything else in this game, it's made impeccably well. And with just a mind-bending degree of quality and craftsmanship. This is tough though. I will get you through this though. Put the marker under that bridge right there. What you want to do. I was going to do this live commentated. I'm very tired. I just completed this guide, but we're going to get it done. And okay, so I put a mine right under there because the guy's going to jump out of the vent. It's good that the enemies can only come from one direction here. That's why you want to have the bridge sealed off on that side. You're going to have a slasher running at you here and a lurker, and as long as you can microtask here and take care of all these enemies, preferably what you want to be doing is doing the charged mines and throwing the plasma cutter, throwing the stasis. You've got stasis on the wall. Watch out for this exploder here. Just stasis him, get him out of the picture. There's going to be, okay, so what I like to do is I like to wait for that exploder to drop and then reconvene against the wall here, refill my stasis, and start focusing on these guys here. But don't get too comfortable next to this wall because an exploder is going to drop like right over here. So I did this. This was actually frustrating me quite a bit, and it's one of those things where on my guide I did this first section without taking any damage, and then I got damage in one of the subsequent waves. There's only 3 waves, and they get decreasingly easy. So I did. This was all one consecutive reel of footage. Although I did pause the game and I assessed what was going on and assessed my surroundings after wave 1, and I just paused the game, came back to it like 10 minutes later, 20 minutes later, I can't remember. There's the crossfade there. You can analyze the position of the fallen bodies if you want to make sure that I'm not lying to you, but that is indeed, this is just like 10 minutes later, so it's all the same thing. I didn't, this is not another take or anything like that on another death toll. So you're gonna have, to get this guy to spawn. See, I was looking for him because the last time I did this in my guide, he came out of that vent. But we're only looking for a couple of lurkers here, just 2. Maybe he did come out of the vent when my back was turned right there. But this is wave 2 of 3, and all it is 2 lurkers here. So if you can kill these guys, you're going to be set. Because the next wave, all it is exploders. Now, that right there, I believe you do have to move the marker up to the next position to have those guys spawn. And then what you do is you kind of move to where that ruby semiconductor is in the corner of the room, down the way from the node room door. So to get the exploders to spawn, you have to take this marker and put it at the very end. And it could be kind of hair-raising of a situation because you've done 2 waves without taking damage. You just want to get seal the victory, get one more wave done, and just keep your cool. I'll tell you that. Just keep your cool. Move this thing over here. So they can't come from the left because we've sealed that area up, but they are going to drop over here. So get him out of the way. Oh no! Oh, my complete bad. They can come from whichever direction here, but the thing is, if they're stasised, then they cannot throw their bomb on the ground. If they're at the end of the animation, they can, but just stasis and run away from them, and then shoot them from a distance, and just don't let them creep up on you. That's the best I could tell you there. And then once you kill those enemies, you've just cleared 3 of 3 waves. So here we have another dual guardian fight. So I do have a pretty, I mean, this is a pretty good vantage point. I was standing here on my guide, and there's no real problems except a little bit of clipping to the left of that leftmost guardian. It's kind of hard to hit the tentacles from this vantage point. It's not really about clipping as much as it's just a very sharp angle that you're expected to hit him at. And if you want to, there is a pillar too, like right in front of us on the adjacent side that you can use. You'll have to excuse me, I'm a little winded. I've been doing a lot of stuff, a lot of family-related work stuff, and wanted to wrap this guide up. But I've just been really excited to do this, and I want to bring my victory here. And I just want to have my raw impressions of my victory here. So, you know, let's just do this because it's really exciting. This project has really taken a toll on me, but I've enjoyed it. And the challenge level, I would say it's probably about a 7 out of 10 or 6 out of 10. It's not very high in the challenge level, but it's something new and it's different, and I was always kind of thrilling to make sure that I never took any damage, and I didn't. So that tentacle over there, it's just kind of hard to hit. What happens is if you don't hit the tentacles after a while, they just kind of move them to another side. I can't tell you how great this game is. It's just, for a game like this to come out these days, there'd have to be a miracle. Just a fucking miracle. So, just killed the last few pods there. Very careful. But it's not too hard of a fight, and it's not bad. Okay, so once you secure that, you'll probably want to save your progress because the save points are pretty far away. I was kind of ruining this area here on my guide, lamenting it. After the checkpoint area, over here though, all you're gonna have is a lurker at first. No, a leaper at first. There he is, right there. You'll have a leaper followed by a lurker, and then you'll get a checkpoint, and then you'll have 2 lurkers and 1 leaper. So I just love it when they take like 4 or 5 of your line racks. So this is one of the more disorienting places in the game, to be sure. You could extremely invoke the coward card if you want to. Once you get the save point, I'm sure you can go back down where the stasis machine is and just lure everybody in there. So we're gonna use some charge. This is by far and away like I think I was using this on Dead Space 2, that boss too, if you want to call that a boss in that particular game. So anyway, I got great news. No lackeys will come for you in the final boss. I was also lamenting their presence in my guide. As long as you keep hitting him in the belly, you won't get those lackeys. So that was probably the issue I was mentioning in my guide, where sometimes I would get the lackeys, sometimes not. It was all about probably I wasn't analyzing it enough. Here's a couple of flying cuts that I did right there. It was probably just I wasn't hitting him enough. Maybe that was the one time I was not getting the lackeys, and I just wasn't putting 2 and 2 together like I usually. I can't get out of the subjective first person kind of thing. But back off here, and once the stasis wears off, if these guys attempt to jump through the fan blade area, they can get dismembered and killed. And let's see if this guy falls for the trap. They have pretty good luck going through it, I must say that. So it's a pretty tough. Just get on these guys with the stasis. Use your line racks here. It isn't too bad, to be honest. None of the encounters that I thought in this game that were going to be challenging ended up being too egregiously difficult. Like, it was all pretty much blasé, this whole guide, but as far as the difficulty of the encounters, no roadblocks, which is nice to report. So here's the brute the brute fight, last one in this game, and I'm going to be using the contact beam. This thing is just it decimates. So we're going to hit the stasis, turn around. He's going to charge back, and I believe I disarm him here, literally. So there he goes. He's going to tuck himself under there the way he does, and you want to hit the backs of his legs for the most damage. Any part with the yellow area, but particularly the backs of his legs, and you'll get a power node. Okay, so this next fight up here, I thought this was going to really challenge me a lot, and it didn't, and thankfully. I mean, it has the potential to really be difficult, but the thing is, if you put the marker in the middle, I just kind of thought of that on the moment, it can kind of forestall the enemies from charging at you too quickly. It's not going to do anything to save you, but it kind of gives me a psychological edge, sort of. I mean, they do kind of have to run around it, which is nice. So we're just going to be standing in this corner like I did for the most visibility, so we have the most periphery that we can see, and we're going to be using the plasma cutter here just to keep up with these enemies, because we have the infected slashers as well as the I was going to say tickers, the twitchers, and you can also take care of these from a distance. But as you can see, it cuts off your peripheral vision when you start aiming, which it makes you on edge even more. And I believe there are a finite number of enemies here, so you'll get pretty used to the waves here. They have a pretty long lull for the player here, so he has enough time to dispatch these tentacles. And then I would say, just take care of two from this vantage point. Collect yourself, reload your guns, apply more stasis if need be. Watch out for the electricity on the rail. Definitely want to watch out for that. And then we're going to start dragging this to the goal. You don't have to kill all of the enemies, certainly. If you get to the goal, you'll trigger Nicole. She'll come out from behind the marker and start talking to you. Just really be careful. If you're using the line gun and they're charging at you, I've mentioned it a couple of times, but they'll get in the hit on you. The line gun is really goddamn slow. It's very slow, but it's powerful, so it's just one of those trade-offs that you've got to account for. So I've really enjoyed this project. Like I mentioned in the very first video, that my excitement level had never been higher, and it was true. And what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to release I'm going to release the videos with their corresponding the walkthrough chapter and the no damage chapter each day, I believe, until I get to finish the uploads. So we're going to bring this up here. Watch out for, you see how you can't see anything to the right when you're dragging it? It kind of makes you the more paranoid. So what I'm thinking right now is just take this to the goal. If I see anybody out of the corner of my eye, we'll just take care of them. We won't just try to run to the end and see if we can survive getting hit, or I'm damn tired, but I think it's going to be good, because I put my heart and soul into these videos. That I know it's one of those tired cliches, and everybody says that, but I really do. And I value my work, and I want these to help. I genuinely want these to help you guys. So it makes me happy when I'm hearing that people are getting help by them. Call me altruistic, but don't call me late for dinner. So with that dragged there, we are going to be taking on the final boss now. Don't equip stasis. You won't need stasis. I would just say, okay, we're going to take one more over here. The thing that I mentioned on my guide too, you have to distribute the damage on these pods here. There's 5 of them. with the contact beam, you can take out a pod in one shot. But let's just get into the fight here. So here it is right here. We can't hit his belly quite yet, but here's the contact beam in action. It takes care of it in one shot. But now I'm going to switch to my plasma cutter because I do want to distribute this damage. And it is not hard to avoid his tentacles. You have to look to see which direction his body is turning back to start doing that whiplash attack. Sometimes you can just kind of feel it, just kind of the way he's moving. Other times you really have to kind of, you know, see which direction he's leaning against and then go the opposite way. And as long as you're not reloading while you're trying to move from one side of the screen to the other, you will be okay. So what happens is he'll grab you when there are 2 left on him, 2 pods left, or whatever the hell they are. I don't know what they are, but you want to make sure that the 2 that you have left are right next to each other, so that any splash damage that you do with your gun, any stray bullets can possibly hit adjacent pods over here. This is very awkward to aim right here. And you just want to make sure that you've also hit these a few times, like 4 or 5 times each, to make sure that when you're doing this, there aren't many HP points left on them. Because if he'll shake you 3 times. The 4th time he'll actually eat you, and it takes so long for the animation to end that I would just say quit the game and restart. But down here, once you're back down to square one here, equip the contact beam and start blasting him. If you start hitting him in the pods area in his stomach, he doesn't summon the lackeys. This worked several times in succession because I got hit a couple of times. But now what he's going to do is, I think it's a series of 4. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Okay, 4 hits. Await your opportunity. Charge the contact beam. If you have it upgraded, it shouldn't take very long. I would just say ignore the red cylinders on the ground, because it's just you're gonna get hit trying to grab them. You know, you're not gonna lock onto it. You're gonna try to compensate for it, and you're gonna get hit. And 1 hit, and you're dead over here on no hurt. And that's it. I mean, evade the 4 times. Hit him with this strongest weapon in the game, and he doesn't take too long to take down. So when he has the claws over the pods, you can't hit him, obviously, and you're just going to be doing this. And even though Isaac runs very, very slowly, it's possible to not take any damage here. So it looks like we just have 1 pod left, and I do want to thank everybody for watching this. I hope, if you're watching it for entertainment, I hope you were entertained. If you're watching it to be aided, I hope you were aided. And leave your comments, leave your impressions, your analyses, and I will see you in my next project. We're just going to finish this guy off here. Take care. There is one final thing you should know, though. If you're too close to where he's falling down, like against the screen, like where he's like where the cylinders are above, you can get hit, so it would ruin your entire run. So just stay back as far as possible. I have got hit when I was doing my guide. If you're too close to him, you will take a hit. So take care, everybody. I really appreciate the support. Goodbye.